Good evening, everyone. We're going to start the meeting with some choruses. If you'd like to be upstanding, do 525 first. Once I was lost. Good to see everyone. Okay. After 4, nice and lively. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sounds great. All right, we'll just open in prayer. Russ, at the back, with a loud voice, can you open in prayer for us, please? Thanks, Russ. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Dear Lord, we just thank you, Lord, that you work in our lives and that you've given us great salvation. And Lord, we just have a great opportunity this week to just learn and just to set time aside to focus on you, to be about your kingdom. So we just ask you to bless this evening, Lord, just that fellowship and everything we do. Way of glorifying you and be edifying to us. We thank you for everything you do in our lives in Jesus' mighty name. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Amen. Take your seats and we'll go to 180, 180. A reminder, if you've got your phone on mute, switch it on to mute, please, onto silent. Okay, therefore the redeemed. After 3, 1, 2, 3, therefore the redeemed of the Lord shall return. Come singing, come to Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon them. Therefore the redeemed of the Lord shall return. Come singing, come to Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon them. Sounds great. There's the River of Life, 57. Okay, after 4, nice and fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. sets the captive free. There's a river right flowing out from me. Spring up over, my soul, spring up over, and make me whole. Spring up over, like to me, my life. 3:07. It's beginning to rain. Hello to everyone on YouTube and Zoom as well, by the way. Welcome. After 3. 1, 2, 3. It's beginning to rain. Into my soul, my heart. Saying, whosoever thirsts, come drink of this water. Oh, pour my spirit out on your sons and your daughters. If you're thirsty and dry, lift your head to the sky. It's beginning to rain. And again. It's beginning to rain. It's a voice of God. Saying, whosoever thirsts, come and drink of this water. For a promise to pour my spirit out on your sons and your daughters. If you're thirsty and dry, lift your head to the sky. It's beginning. 2:05. Whom have I in heaven but thee? We'll do this one, and then after this one, we'll get the Medway Saints to come up to this side. The microphone's only stretched this far, so the Medway Saints can come up, and we'll give the camp theme a go. Whom have I in heaven but thee? After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whom have I in heaven but thee? And there is none upon the other side beside thee. My flesh and my heart faileth, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. Just the ladies. Okay, one more time all together. And there is none upon the earth that I desire besides thee. My flesh and my heart faileth, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. Sounded really good. Thanks, band. And if we get the Medway Saints down, and we'll give the camp theme a go. Just stand for one first.
Lyrics, sorry. So it's, yeah, everything that depends. So we just have to play full bars.
Play it, yeah.
Think we're all going to sing it this time?
Okay. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, well, welcome everyone. We're just going to do what we do on the first night and just go through a few things of how the site works and a few spiritual ideas as well. Yeah, it's good to see everyone, and I've been staying at home for quite a while. This is our first summer for 3 years, really, when we've really been free to kind of plan and to enjoy things, and that's what we're doing. We're enjoying things. Just one little note. As we go through the week with the chorus leaders and with the musicians and with the camp theme, what happens nearly every year is it starts to slow down as soon as we start to get used to it. So it needs to be kept up. The speed needs to be kept up through the chief musician each night, so each day and each night, and through the chorus leader. But it's not the same song if you slow it down. So all right, we've got a few slides for you. Different setup, audio, visual this year. So if you want any slides or YouTube links for your talks or item, send them to an email address, Medway Revival Fellowship @gmail.com, and Fiona will get them and Fiona will have them ready for you. So I've got to do next slide thing because of the way it is. So welcome to Bath. I think this is year 13. Somebody said we were trying to work it out in the it was the same year Russell and Caroline got married that we first came here. So I take it that's 13 years. They put a fabulous bookshop together, by the way. The twins, lots of stuff there, lots and lots of stuff. Some of it very smart indeed. And like with a few things at camp this year, you can pay by card. Just about everything we want money off you for, you can pay by card. They've got a card machine. We've got a couple for other things. Next slide, please. Okay, just a few things to be mindful of. As I say, that there are certain things about the school and the way it runs and how we have to fit in with that, how we do fit in with that. And just a reminder of a few things. Some things I don't mention one year, and then you think I should have mentioned that, right? And so you put it back the next year. Some things don't need mentioning, because there just isn't a reason to make announcements about the way people dress it. And, that's been a long time since, in general anyway, there's been anything anywhere near that. So some things don't need mentioning, but other things I think are good to put you in mind of. Next one. Right. I If there's pictures of creatures on the BBC or something like that, I snaffle a picture. And even if it's got no point to it, you're going to see it anyway. Next one. Yes. Okay. What it says is, and there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. So some people here have been to camp in Canada over the last couple of weeks. Some people have been to the camp in Holland. And you know, not everything is exactly the same. It's just not exactly the same. And there is a difference between right and wrong and different. Some things are just different. Okay, so it's not. If you go, there's reasons why we do things here a particular way, and differences can be interesting. But it's not a matter of it's not a matter of right and wrong. It's not even a matter of better and worse, because that better or less, because that's a matter of opinion. So you know, sometimes people are like, this should be done that way. You should stand on this leg and not stand on that leg, and you should, you know, this should be like that. And there's nothing wrong. So, but it could be different. So there you go. Differences of administrations. Next one. Is that a blank one? Fellowship. Yeah. We have, lots of us here have family here, okay? And lots of us here have friends here. But fellowship is not friendship or family. As good as they are, as fabulous as they are, they exceed it. Fellowship exceeds family and friends. And so, you know, I think on one of the slides it says about if you find things a little bit overwhelming, go and put your head in a bucket of water and just chill. You know, go off on your own, and you might need to do that sometimes if you find it a bit much. But only when you find it a bit much would be the recommendation, and not before. You know, there is great things to be had in fellowship. The tables around once it cools down anyway, it will be very good. Next one. Apologies for the cross and the severed hand. probably more for the cross. It's a little saying that I came across. It was running this about 10 years ago. Somebody came from a faraway land, and I wasn't sure where they were at in the Lord. So I asked one of the pastors. I said, "What do I do with this person?" He said, "Are they in fellowship?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Then you hold out the right hand of fellowship." And I knew exactly what to do. It was such a good thing, and you know, with fellowship and the right hand of fellowship. I like the song. I like the line in the song about the trumpet not making an uncertain sound. Everybody here is in fellowship, and everybody here, one to another, holds out the right hand of fellowship. We start from there. It's a good start. It's a good place, and that's the way it's meant to be. Next one. 15 pastors here. You lot, I don't know what it is. Goodness me, what's been going on? I'm glad I'm not carrying it myself. You know what I mean? Making my shoulders sore. I've got a picture, the best picture I could think of. Go on, next one. But looks like us. That's the idea anyway. Next one. So I came across a word only a few months ago. I couldn't find it again. You know when you look up a Greek word and you find something really good, and then you can't remember how you looked it up. And but just the word gentle, which is applied to pastors, but is applied to all of us. It means, or can mean, open to conversation. Open to conversation. You know, anything that's troubling you, or you just want to talk about or talk through. You know, we are open to conversation. So, next one. Who knows them, fellas? Yeah. It's next one. I'll get the three are the same. And then the final one. Now, I've got a question with this fella. Is he falling over or standing up? Is he getting back up or falling over? It's an artwork in a beach near Liverpool called Another Place. There's 100 Iron Men. And they look out to sea. You've got to take the photo from the right angle, by the way, because there's certain things about them that we wouldn't show. But there's an interesting, the guy that made them, he said, Anthony Gormley, he said, one of the things with them is when you go to see them, the next time you go to see them, because the sea covers them and then the tide goes out, they will have changed. Every time you go, if you only go every few months or every couple of years, they will have changed. And then he says, but so will you. You will have changed. And I suppose it's tied to the idea of fellowship, really. But sometimes since the last time you had a conversation with someone, you might find that they have really changed. I was telling one of the sisters at home I was going to put this picture on, and she said, yeah, that fella in that assembly, it wasn't worth trying to talk to him, and now it's worth it. She wasn't knocking him. He was okay before, but just quiet. And we talked to someone at dinner, and he said, is that so-and-so over there? You can see how they've grown in confidence just by looking at them across the table and change. And so you know, it's not always the case, but sometimes we go by. We had a brother here a few years ago, and he was difficult. He was difficult, and it wouldn't have been easy to talk to him or spend time with him. But if you meet him this time, he's on the top of his game, right? And but if you're only going by the last conversation you'd had with him, you might be a little bit away from him. So people change. It's like the Iron Men in Crosby. Next one. Okay, childcare. So there's lots of children here. There's certain things that impress the school, and one of the main one, or a main one of many really, is the way the children behave, the way they are with each other, the way they look after each other, running around free and happy. And so, you know, the certain things we have with the childcare. I haven't seen any this year, but sometimes there's a few little scooters and bikes and that type of thing. They're great, but not inside the building. But they're great outside. The little kids have a pram that can go anywhere, and just yeah. Obviously, with the smallest ones, the parents always need to know where they are. When they get a little bigger, there's a couple of things. Kids like to use the sports hall, the older ones. You need to be supervised in the sports hall. You need to be supervised by an older teenager or someone in their 20s, or a couple of people, one of the ladies or one of the brothers. But you need to be supervised when you want to use the sports hall. Just find someone that will look after you for that time, and they'll do that. Towards the end of the evening, like you see it straight away in the dining hall, how they group together, the kids group together, and they'd be like that all week, and they'll have the time of their lives. And but sometimes late at night after 9 o'clock, they can get a little bit too noisy, just a little bit too noisy. I don't want them to be quiet personally. I like the noise of children, but I think there's one house that we're going to designate as the quiet house, and that's got table football in it. Those two things don't go together, you know. So we'll cover up the table football, and the young kids will be allowed in there, because sometimes their dads or someone allows them out. That's up to them, but only if they're just not noisy. Otherwise, go somewhere else, because that house is the quiet house, and it's okay to ask them to quieten down. You'll nearly always do it when you ask them the first time. Just explain to them. Kids get excited. Yeah, childcare generally is everybody's job. Yeah, we know to do that. Next one. Meeting times. This is what most of us know. 8:30 in the morning. All our meetings are on Zoom and YouTube. Our YouTube, Medway YouTube runs through Zoom, so people can come on Zoom and maybe get a bit of fellowship afterwards. I know there's people in Australia. Normally, within 24 hours of a meeting, a couple of hundred people will have watched it on YouTube, particularly at the camps. A couple of hundred, maybe more. So they're waiting for them, you know what I mean? The lips of the righteous feed many. You know, I'm reminded at home, because things are on YouTube, you have to be careful what you say a little bit. I asked one brother once, he was going back to Australia for a while anyway, and he's a good brother. I said, anything you'd say about the meeting? And he said, just one thing. He said, on YouTube, watch your jokes. And so when you skip the Japanese accent and all that, like, people get a bit nervous. I was like, I'll do it for you. And then later on, I thought, he's actually right, I'll do that. So if I do the Japanese accent, I have to turn off YouTube, right? So meeting times, yeah. 8:30 in the morning, we have a prayer meeting. There's a time there to put things to the Lord. Whoever's doing the talk will ask for any petitions, and 10 to 9 is a short talk, and then off for breakfast. 10:30. The morning meeting starts at 10:30, finishes about 12, and the evening meeting starts at 7. It starts at 7 each night, and the idea is it finishes by 9, so we can enjoy fellowship before we're dog tired. So that's the plan with the meeting times. Next one. Musicians are required to be there and playing 10 minutes early. It's a great noise to walk into, and it means you're ready to go. You're not fiddling around when we're looking for the first chorus. It's like a Formula One car. It makes a lot of noise before it takes off, and it's quite an exciting noise. A lot of Mackenzie is looking after the musicians. So we've got the instruments we've got there, the piano and the bass. I don't know what, a couple of guitars and a drum and a box drum. There might be a flute or something knocking about. So if you want to play, we'd like to see you play. The more the play, the better. But if you see Lauren, she'll sort it out to be on what particular day and all that kind of stuff. But the more people that are there, the better it is for us. Next one. That's last year's picture. Just with the items, there'll be an MC every night. Go to him. Don't save them up for the last night. Don't save them up for the last night. You might not get on, and put good ones on now anyway. You might come up with another one later in the week. There is a lot of time for items, so it does help if before you come on, you're ready, because there's only a lot of time, and there's always too many. There's always more people that want to get on than can get on, nearly always anyway. So each night you'll see an MC and share something with us that's good. I think there's some people here that are quite good with skits. So there you go. Next one. That's a picture of Lauren Mackenzie, supposed to be. Very humorous picture. Next one. Some things that, like we have to manage ourselves in a large community, whereas we don't normally have to at home. I never have to queue up for my dinner, right at home. I don't have to queue up for my dinner. I've got an ensuite which I can just walk into, and everything's there. But it's not like that here, so we have to adapt to it here. We have to adapt to the circumstances. And one of the things in the meeting at home, it's not so important to keep the time, but here it actually is. It actually is to testimonies 6 minutes ish. Sometimes they're a little bit longer. 6 minutes ish. They're all the speakers. We've got phones now with alarms on, so we can do that. Otherwise, by the time the next thing comes on or the next thing, people are gone. You know what I mean? It can be too much because we fit a lot into camp. Next one. Just a little tip: if you get asked to do your testimony, particularly if you're on choruses, you pick the testimonies. I'll help you if you want. I'll point you to people if you want. Ask their pastor as well, or ask their pastor before you ask them. Always. And I always say, if you're a bit nervous, that's not our problem, really. And but I would advise you to focus on something. Don't if you've been around for 20 years and you want to tell us 20 years worth, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. But and I find that when I do that, after 30 years, I still remember things that I've forgotten. Right? Just sitting there for a couple of minutes before, I'll remember something, or something will become clear that I'd more or less forgotten. So yeah, just a little bit of focus if you are nervous. Next one. I don't know what I'm supposed to take that one out. I don't know who that's a picture of. Oh, the next one, I don't know who that's a picture of either. But they're happy anyway. The next one. Who remembers that item? It's me, it's me, it's me, oh Lord, the twins. That just reminded me of them. All right. Next one. I'm supposed to take these out, so I'd have something to say about them. And I can't remember it. Can't remember it either. Yeah, next one. Pay your fees. So if you're a part of the UK or Ireland assemblies, that goes through your local assembly. You don't pay us. Your assembly pays us and you pay them. So otherwise it'll get confusing, and it's much simpler and much easier for us, which is why we do it. Other than that, you can pay by bank transfer. We can give you the details. That's probably preferable. Or we've got a card reader, so you can use your chip and pin to pay your fee. We'd rather not have cash, but if that's what you brought, we'll take it. But we'd rather not have cash. Next one. So one of the hardest things every year is getting a lifeguard. There's a university up the road with an Olympic swimming pool, and so many people that can swim and do lifeguarding. And in August they all leave Bath because it's the end of the term, and we were a bit stuck. But it is a thing, with getting on with the school. One of the things I'm going to say in a minute is basically leave communication with the school to us. unless it's something really small. Honestly, leave it to us. We know the people better. We know who's a little bit how gotten the best chance of getting a good result is through us. But just one of the things where if something doesn't work properly or something like that, or if a building's out. Last year the dining hall was out. It just shrug our shoulders because they wouldn't do it to us on purpose. They're good to us. And I know someone who's got a car. He borrows a car. And that person's insurance has got a black box. If you go 1 mile over, it buzzes to say you're in the wrong. 1 mile over the speed limit. That would make you very tense. If you want to be exacting, it makes you very tense. They're not exacting with us and we are not exacting with them. Right? So if you find a couple of things aren't working, that's kind of normal on a big thing like this. But we had the trouble getting a lifeguard, and they have a commercial department and a commercial manager who looks after me. And the lady that's above her, she's going to do the swimming for us. She's going to do the lifeguarding for us because she knew we didn't have any, and she does love the children. She got them a bouncy castle the other year, and that didn't quite work out right. We got a bouncy castle for the pastors' meeting. No photos, but you can ask the pastor what noise he makes when he goes up in the air. Okay, so that's the swimming. It's not exactly what we had planned. Next one. It's not exactly what we had planned time-wise. So there's a couple of 7 till 8 ones, 3 7 till 8 ones, 2 till 4. That's every day except for Wednesday. Sarah, her name is, and I absolutely delighted with that. And it's a good thing. Yeah. Next one. So 7 o'clock in the morning, sometimes the swimming. Marian's organising for the ladies a yoga class. We don't know where that is yet, do you? The Undercroft, where it says upper, doesn't it? And you go down to upper, right? So it's there. She'll show you anyway. So 7 o'clock in the morning, I think you have a little YouTube video and a little bit of yoga. I think generally as well, Dan organises a bit of weight training. Is he about? He's going. All right. So he normally organises. They have a gym with all the fitness stuff here, and we can use it. You have to sign a disclaimer. So you use it at your own risk, but we can use that. And Dan normally organises a little class if you want to do that. Some people go for a walk in the morning. Next one. Yeah, meal times. So breakfast is at 9. They've changed the serving so there is a good chance the queues will be shorter. Normally, when we're full, normally you could almost guarantee it will be 45 minutes. I could go and do something. I know that 9:40, that'll be kind of when it's coming to. It might be a little bit quicker. A couple of things. When you get to the serving bit, if you can remember to stop talking at that bit, just get that done because that slows it down quite a bit. People won't always remember that. So no worries. If you have any reason to not want to queue, go to the front of the queue. If there's anything that makes it hard for you, even if the kids are giving you the hard time, and it's much better for you to go to the front of the queue, just go to the front of the queue. That'll be all right. In the morning, I don't think there's much self-service, but you can't have 12 bits of toast and then there'll be some left for me, all right? So if you're a big eater, I don't think there are that many big eaters this year, but go towards the back and you can ask for more if you want. I don't know if they give you more, I've never tried. But you can ask for more, but just go to the back. Go on, next one. So each day we have a barbecue out here, weather permitting. So they do the food for us. It's good food. We cook it and we charge you what they charge us, which is about £2 an item and about 70p for a can of pop or something like that. You will be able to pay by card. You will be able to write your name in a book, but we do need that money. We do need that money. It's not to be forgotten. Okay, it's not to be forgotten. So if you can pay as you go, that's ideal with the cards and that. Put your cards in your pocket. Next one. Dinner at 5. We know that one. There's lots of dietary requests, and we've sent them all to the school. Somebody doesn't eat garlic. I don't know how that man can look at himself in the mirror. I thought that was funny. I thought of that this afternoon. I thought, I like that one. So all the requests are there. If anything isn't right, I would recommend you come to us and we go to the staff. I would recommend you do it that way. I know who's who, and I know how to approach certain ones. But yeah, if you need anything that isn't quite the way it could be, then let us know. We did. We went about it a particular way this year to make sure, because the price of food's gone through the roof, and normally what happens is they've got a budget, and they'll just buy poorer food or less of it, poorer food. So we had a little conversation with them this year that we would help there, and I think they've responded very well tonight. Anyway, lovely stuff. Next one. So lots of special food requests. Yeah. Next one. Somebody writes every year on the West London camp form, special food request, Pastor Yomi's nuts. Every year, Pastor Yomi's nuts in big letters. So I think that they're for you, Pastor Yomi. Not really. Next one. Blue ribbons. Somebody's got to have a blue ribbons and a glass of cold milk every night. One particular person. Another person's got to have a pheasant every morning. Well done. Medium, well done, or rare, whoever it was. All right. Skip over the next couple because they're silly. Right. Where are we up to? What does it say? Yeah, please don't insist. I was going to take that one out. Yeah. Just with the thing of adapting to the community, right? So it might not be the way you would have it at home. It might not be the order you'd have it at home. But we're mindful of 240. We're mindful of what's best for 240. So, and sometimes people are only mindful of the way they'd like it. You know what I mean? Apart from the heat, nobody here is going to suffer anything. There's no suffering. Things might be a little bit inconvenient. I find it good myself. Next one. Yeah, just about feeling overwhelmed. I remember my first couple of camps that I did used to feel that. I think they were a little bit more intense as well. But it's okay to put your head in a bucket of cold water or be on your own. You know, you're not expected. There's nothing expected of you, particularly if you need to be in the quiet for a little while. That's fine. Yeah. If you need any help beyond that, find someone to talk to quietly. But good things happen in fellowship, more than happen when you're on your own. Next one. Just the obvious, really, they've got the hand sanitizer there and people were using it, and we'll do that. It was just back to normal, really. Again, there's a lot of people here, so if you really think you've got something contagious, and if you're coughing and spluttering and all that, then you probably need to stay away from us. You know what I mean? But people know that, so that's that one. Next one. They have got a coffee shop. It doesn't look like that. So what used to be the Creeds room, where they used to have the Sunday school room and the pastors' meeting and the prayer room, that's a coffee bar now. And I can't remember the hours. They're going to open 9 o'clock or something, maybe 1 o'clock. I can't remember exactly. I'll find out. And they'll open up to us, and you can go there. You buy it. Obviously, they charge you $170 or whatever it is. They charge you. Yeah, but that'll be there most days for us if you want that. Next one. Tea point. It should have been with the meal tonight. I don't know why it wasn't really with the meal. They're supposed to put tea out with the meal. So at mealtime there'll be tea in the big dining hall. A cup of tea in a big dining hall. And through the rest of the day, it will be in what's called the day room, which is where we dined last year. And there's hot water constantly. There's fresh water constantly. We've got a tub full of cold water out there, bottles of cold water in the ice cream thing. They're ours. Take one as you want one. You know what I mean? I think there's 300 cold bottles of water there, or there was anyway. So the tea point will be in the middle. You can bring a cup of tea under here, and you can bring a cup of tea. You can use the big dining hall in the day. It'll be much better when it's cooled down. It's a great room. Not at the moment so much because of the heat, but it's a great room. And so you can take your tea, but the tea will be in that room only. We're not looking to move it around. Next one. It's a bit of circle. Where are we? That's just to warn you. I don't know what I'm warning you about, but you're warned. Be warned. Be warned. Next one. I don't know what he's doing there. Go on. There is Wi-Fi. It's easy to find the code. Yeah, that works. School rules. So there aren't that many really. I think we know them. In the kitchens, I think every kitchen now has got a microwave oven, but they've switched all the other ovens off. And I would agree with them, really. You know what I mean? If we've had that for 12 years, cooking in the buildings, we would have had a few incidents by now, no doubt about it. With so many people, and so no food and drink in here other than water, particularly. They don't want food and drink in here. Yeah, I can't think of anything else with the school rules. Yeah. So in your building, if it's an electronic lock, it will stop working at 11 o'clock. So after 11 o'clock, especially this main building here, but not the only one. After 11 o'clock, if you're out and you come in, the building will be completely locked. Okay, so I don't know if you've got my phone. You can phone me, or you can find someone. But really, you need to get inside or outside. You can get outside the building by 11. I can come down and let you in if I know you're there. But they just switch off, so the code won't work anymore. So. Yeah, go on, next one. It's done that. The big match. So we have the oldies versus the youngies, the goodies versus the baddies. The goodies, and there's only one goodies. There always is only one goodies. And I don't know whether that's going to be Thursday or Friday this week on the Astro. I've got a picture, I've got a little video of the crowd from last year. Do you want to see a little video of the crowd from last year? Go on, Matt. You got that one? You can't see it that well.
The usual fantastic reception. This year, Argentina style.
That's it. Turn that off quick.
The usual fantastic reception. This year, Argentina style.
Okay. So yeah. A couple of people asked, could the big match be earlier in the week so people don't talk about it all week? And I say, well, why can't we have it later in the week and they just not talk about it all week? It doesn't fit really early in the week. We have to fit it in where it'll fit, and that'll be Thursday or Friday. Angelo organises that. It's a great part of our what we do at camp. Yeah, outreach. Next one. Nearly there. Oh, fire wardens. I'll do that tomorrow after fire wardens. If you hear the fire alarm, you're to leave the building. To leave the building, which it went off last year in the kitchen, and we all stayed. You have to be chased out. A lot of us like, but anyway, never mind. Next one. Outreach. So assemblies have brought leaflets, but that's okay. It's fairly well to do, but it's okay. And so if you're going out, or some people will go out on an outreach, we've got local leaflets with stickers on that advertise the meeting here. We had a lady last year that lived 1 road away, and she got baptized and received the Holy Spirit on the Saturday. When we were on our way home, we went to see her. She received the Holy Spirit, and that was, although it hasn't turned out well, it was good, no doubt about that. And one of the differences this year is now we have an assembly 20 minutes away. The Bristol Avon assembly, they meet in Keynsham, which is, if you've been coming here for a long time and been to the Asda, the big Asda, it's just by there where they meet. So they're 20 minutes away from us. So there will be outreaching through the week, some organised, some disorganised. And then obviously, if you go out of here all bright and full of things, the chances are you're going to say hello to someone. So there you go. Next one. Yeah, if you bring anyone from the outreach, that this is something we haven't had a problem for years. But before we used to put this slide on, we used to have a problem every year. There's someone coming that was half mad, and he had to chase around the site because he'd gone for a wander and you didn't know where he'd gone. Or so if you meet anyone out there who's a little bit unusual, right? The door's not shut, but maybe we can go and see them. We've got a lot of children here. Right, we've got a lot of children here, and so if you do bring anyone, and you can bring them, they're your responsibility all the time they're here. They're your responsibility. If you want to bring someone for dinner, You know, we're looking for people who are looking for the truth. So we don't put dinner first. You know what I mean? We don't put other things first, because you'll get people that are looking for those things and not particularly the truth, and it bogs us down. But yeah, it's just a gentle reminder. Next one. So prayer room, yeah, that'll be where it's been before in the where a lot of, I think, young people here will have received the Holy Spirit in that room. It's upper, it's called. So as you go round here, if you go into the main dining hall, you'll see a slope that goes down, and most of us have been in there. But that's designated as a prayer room. You can use that for a need, for something for yourself. It's a good thing to do, whether it's in the prayer room or not, to kind of, if something's daunting particularly, set yourself through that. Set yourself through that. You know, it's you know, saying about fellowship exceeds friendship and family. Speaking in tongues exceeds all and everything. Prayer-wise, it just exceeds. It's an exceeding. That's what it does. Next one, nearly there. So not tonight. But the idea is that we see how it goes. It used to be that people would go to the main dining hall for fellowship. That's changed a little bit down the last few years, and now there's quite a lot of fellowship underneath here. Sometimes the main dining hall was very noisy. So one of the accommodation houses, they've all got lounges, and this year I think Middle House has got a very nice lounge that you don't have to walk anywhere but into the lounge to go into. It's the one that's clad with wood, so you go across the Astro and it's the first one in front of you. And then what we'll do from tomorrow is that if you go there, you're guaranteed fellowship, tea and toast and jam if you want it, and just quiet fellowship, just a quieter place, and so people enjoy that. So we'll organise that. But the idea, not that it's so quiet, but it's not noisy like people playing games and getting excited house. All right, nearly there. So to bed. So the as I say, watch out for that, because 11 o'clock those things go off, and you know, normally there's somebody around for a little while, but there might not be. So in your house, I think from 10 o'clock there shouldn't be noise that would wake someone up if they could hear you. You know, and then after that, look, if you're having a quiet conversation somewhere and it's away from people, then that's I don't think that needs to be policed, really. It doesn't need to be policed, but just generally, and the last few years there's been very little things that you know, especially since that we use the dorm slightly differently, where there's any problem. People do have quiet conversations growing up, so that there you go. We leave it like that. Next one, nearly there. And the final one. He was here last year, but this year he's a little hotter. Like that. That's my favourite joke in the world, that one. All right. He's a little hotter. He's an otter. And that today's a bit hotter. Okay. Got to have joke interpretation now as well as spiritual gifts interpretation. Have I forgotten anything that anybody thinks that I really should mention? As Monty said, with the mics this year, we haven't put a stage out because it's superfluous to need. Superfluous, that's a big word. I like that word. Superfluous. Yeah, I'll explain that. And I'll show you. So everything mic-wise is here or over there. All right, so if you're planning an item, especially a big group item, you're going to be over there. You won't be able to get over here because the mics won't stretch. As I say, everything's on YouTube and Zoom, so it'll be access straight away and later on. Those who are on in the morning, we put up the list of the people on tomorrow. That's about the last of it then. Patrick's on for the prayer meeting talk. Dan Cashford for the choruses. Pastor Bob for the communion. Pastor Pete for the talk. Russell Polehill. So your items and that tomorrow with Russell. You usually get about 10 in, I think. I can't remember how it goes. Pastor Rob in the evening. Yeah, we'll be good. Be good. Yes. Yes. Have I forgotten anything? I can see a hand in the middle there, but no. Oh yeah, mission fund. So maybe we've got to figure out how to do it. Tomorrow, sometimes we're going to have a collection for the mission fund. All right. And we do want to use the tap and go thing, but we've got to figure out how to do that because we're using it for 2 other things as well. But we'll figure that out. Patrick?
Yeah, you said there's Wi-Fi.
It's on the table. It's on the table in there. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Shout, Pastor Pete. Some fans. I can ask. Yeah. Jamie. Monty. Pretty short-sighted, to be fair. The other week, somebody came to the meeting late during the gifts with his cap like that. So I said, if anybody's new, they can get baptized today and receive the Holy Spirit. And it was my son, Lawrence, come back from America. Couldn't see him. Monty. Yeah, so unless you've got a reason, don't go over there. Don't let the kids play over there because the wires aren't. There's plenty of them. So there's quite a few under the desk there. I can see them myself. So don't play over there. Do you have your hand up, Jamie, just to hurt me? What did he say? All right. Jonah? Yes. So we have got a number of volunteers to help with the audio visual through the week. So after this meeting, go and see Triona. I think some assemblies designated someone. You've got to know how to do it, really, you know what I mean, and to do it quietly and efficiently. So the choruses, the YouTube and the microphone. So there's a few things to do there. And it'd be nice if particularly Triona wasn't there 6 days. She's got a little girl to look after and that, so it'd be good that she's not there for 6 days. And the other thing is that Lauren wants to see the musicians. Is that right, Lauren? After this meeting? So if you want to play in the music, just so we can get a roster together, as I say, there is a list of instruments and you can go on a session. So if you see Lauren after the meeting, that'll work. You have to shout because I can't see hands, because I can't tell who's who or what's what. Obviously, you know what I mean? Yeah. All right. Let's just get Jamie, just a closing prayer for us, please. Praise you, Lord. Hallelujah. Bless you. Praise you, Lord. Hallelujah. Amen. Time for tea.